Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking what would the peeps do? And this one is called Pay Her Own Way. So this guy wants to know, is he an ass? So here's the thing. He says recently his parents surprised him, which he's 26 years old, and his 16-year-old and 19-year-old siblings with a ski trip. The ski trip was coming up in December, which will be the day after Christmas. My parents offered to pay for my expenses and said that my wife, who is 24, was welcome to come, but she would need to pay her way. My wife and I are okay financially, but with the trip being so close to Christmas, we wouldn't be able to afford to pay for her way to go. Despite this, I really want to go on this trip as it was always a dream of mine to go on a trip like this. My family grew up dirt poor until I was about 15 when my parents' business took off, and now they are extremely comfortable and can afford to pay for trips like this for us. They could certainly afford to pay for my wife to go also, but they have always been this way when it comes to paying for things for me versus my wife. My parents think it's only fair to pay for me when we go out to eat or on trips because they are still paying for my siblings. I don't ask them to, but it is really nice to save the money. So on every trip they will pay my way, room and board, excursions, meals, while my wife is expected to pay her own way. This started before we were married. This has always bothered my wife, especially after we got married, and they still excluded her from these events these past 2 years since we've been married. So I tried to limit the trips since they bother her so much. But this is a once in a lifetime trip for me, so I thought she should be supportive of me going. She is very upset and hurt. She wants to go on this trip, but like I said, she cannot afford it, which she understands. She told me that she does want me to have this experience, but she is sad because she thinks my parents are purposely excluding her. Am I an ass for choosing to go on this trip and leave my wife behind? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking that he's an ass. He said that his parents can absolutely afford to pay for his wife. So, to me, if he is saying that he financially, him and his wife, cannot afford for his wife to go on this trip, I think that it seems to me that his parents would know that as well, which means that they are purposely excluding his wife. And according to his comments, this is not the first time. And I'm not sure why he doesn't understand why she would be hurt and upset by this. I'm wondering if at any point did he ask them if they could possibly pay for her now and then let them make payments to pay it back? Did he explain to them that, this trip is the day after Christmas? I feel really bad about leaving her like this. Not only that, it seems that if this is one of those once in a lifetime trips, that you'll probably be gone for New Year's as well and leaving her back at home. And also, I'm a bit confused when he says she has to pay her own way. Dude, are you not willing to chip in and pay for her? Are you not willing to go 50-50 with her? She's your life partner. You guys should be doing 50-50 on everything. As a matter of fact, if you want to go old school, old fashioned with it, you should be paying for everything. This day and age, I'm okay with 50-50. It's not a big deal, but my grandmother would say, hell no, you pay for all of it, buddy. I'm just saying. It just seems to me, instead of him just being so gung-ho about this trip, he would think of ways to figure out how either she could go or they just don't go at all. Because he doesn't have a problem with leaving his wife. I don't know. I would expect for my husband and I to be able to sit down and talk this out, figure out a way that either both of us could go or neither would go. And we would also have a conversation with the family. I know that it's not their responsibility to pay for this grown man and his grown wife, but if you continue to have these trips several times a year and exclude his wife when you can clearly afford to pay for her, you're paying for everybody else already. It just seems that they're doing this on purpose. And I wonder, are your parents willing to pay for your divorce? Because you are not being a really good husband. I think that the nicest thing to do was for him to say, hey, mom and dad, I appreciate you guys so much, but I don't want to take a separate vacation from my wife. And right now we just can't afford it. So thank you so much. Maybe next time. That's what I would want my husband to do if we can't afford it and can't figure anything else out. Get down in the comments, peeps. Let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.